Shakespeare wrote the epic tragedy Hamlet, women were not even allowed on stage. Well, more than 400 years on, the title role is being played by a woman in the new production by the Cincinnati Shakespeare Company. In a show that's been pretty much 3 years in the making, Sarah Clark plays Hamlet, and we are so lucky to have her with us this morning on Good Morning Cincinnati. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning.
So Hamlet, you said in your TEDx talk, one of the greatest roles, if not the greatest role in theater. Of course, it's been played by women before, but not as a woman. So why is it important to have Hamlet as a woman, not just played by a woman?
Well, you know, I mean, we've been doing these plays for 400 years, and, you know, we've seen version upon version, you know, stand on the shoulders of a lot of really, really great performers. And it's just really wonderful to take an opportunity to just hear something in a slightly different way, to kind of ask that what if, you know, to hear these famous words and these famous lines, just kind of come out of a different sort of person and think about it in a different way.
So why did you want to do this role?
I mean, why wouldn't you want to do it? It's a blast. Honestly, it is so much fun. I mean, it's big, it's long, it's a lot, right? It's just it's a lot of lines, it's a lot of physical, it's a big emotional arc, but it's the most fun I've ever had on stage, truly.
Well, the Cincinnati Shakespeare Company decided in 2019 that 2020 was going to be the year of the woman. So this whole concept of this pretty much started 3 years ago. That's how long it's taken to get this on stage. How's it feel to finally be doing it?
I'm so incredibly grateful. I mean, we were 4 days into rehearsals originally when we had to shut down the theater due to the pandemic. And so 2 years later, almost 3 after all of the press and talking about it, finally getting to do it, it's mostly just gratitude.
So what were you doing during that time when you were off? Were you working on the role, or did you just completely veg? Like, what did you do during that time?
Something in between the two. You know, we have a new director, so new cutting. So I didn't want to, you know, learn lines that weren't actually going to be in the show, but I work in development at the Shakespeare Company too, so it was keeping us keeping the doors open until we could do the shows again.
Yeah. So does making Hamlet a woman change anything in the text? I mean, these are some of the greatest lines ever written by a playwright. So how do you know, how does that translate?
Yeah, it changes some things. You know, he's become she's, my lords become your graces. But we were specific, and sometimes when we wanted to keep a line like "what a piece of work is a man," it stays that way, because really, you know, Hamlet is talking about humankind, not necessarily, you know, men or women. So, you know, we sort of used, we let our discretion be our tutor, and I think I'm really proud of what we've come up with.
So what do you think Hamlet as a play has to say more than 400 years after William Shakespeare wrote it? What does it say to us today?
You know, right now, especially in the wake of the last 2 years, to me it's a play about grief, and it's a play about how the profound and complicated grief of one person sort of has a ripple effect into all of the people in their life. That makes it sound like a really big downer, and it's actually very fun. It can be very funny, it's exciting, it's intense, it's a political thriller, it's a ghost story, it's a revenge drama, it's all of those things. But to me, it's a very touching portrayal of how a human deals with this profound tragedy in their life and how that affects everyone around them.
Well, what a gift that we have theater back in Cincinnati. I think we're all so happy about that. We have a link for tickets at local12.com. Just a reminder, you do have to wear a mask to the performance. You either have to show a vaccine card or a proof of a negative test. But break a leg, Sarah. You and all your company. Wishing you the best of luck. Previews tonight. The show starts for everyone on Friday.